Hey guys, so today I am doing a back to the basics foundation video for you guys. I thought it would be a really cool idea to show you how I do my foundation and my bronzer and my blush and my highlight and all of that good stuff. So I'm not going to make this intro too long. Don't forget to follow my social media. They will be linked down below. So without further ado, let's just get started into this video. Before you put anything on your face, you are going to want to moisturize your skin. And I don't have the bottle with me at the moment, but I use the Pond's one here. And you want a lightweight moisturizer because if you put on a thick, heavy moisturizer, it's just going to overtake your skin and it's not going to set properly. You want to let your moisturizer sit for about 10 minutes before applying your makeup so that way it soaks into your skin and not just sitting on top and you're mixing it with your foundation. It's just going to make your foundation look patchy and not cute. The next step is a primer, and I have two primers that I love. This one is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser, and this one is a silicone texture. You can tell by when you take it out and you put it on your hand, it's just like clear and it's really soft. And then this one I really like. It's the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. And this one is a cream base. And with that, when you take it out of the little tube, it obviously looks like cream and it's not as soft as the other one. I like cream-based primers for my skin personally because my skin is very oily and the silicone base doesn't really sit well on oily skin. But this one is really good if you have oily skin. It just makes your face stay matte the whole day, hence Stay Matte Primer. And this one's really good for erasing your pores, like it says, pore eraser. So I'm going to use this one today. You don't need a lot of this, just a little amount will do. This much will do your whole face, so I just massage it in between my fingers to like warm it up, and I put it there, around my nose, on my forehead, on my chin, and right there. And I just buff it in with my fingers. You don't forget your neck because you will have to put foundation on your neck because no one wants that foundation line because it's not cute. So once that is on your face, I let this sit in for about a couple minutes, like 2 to 3 minutes, just so it kind of just like is dry, or not dry. It's kind of like soft to the touch. Okay, so now onto foundation. You can use whatever foundation you want. You can use a BB cream, you can use a really expensive one, or you can use drugstore one. In this case, I'm using the Revlon Color Stay for combination to oily skin, and it's in the shade 310 Golden, Warm Golden. It's 24-hour wear, and I would say it really is. This one is a great drugstore option if you want a full coverage foundation that'll last all day. And I pump this on the back of my hand. You can pump it in the, I know some people pump it in the palm of their hand and brush it there. Some people apply it directly to their face. But I just pump it onto the back of my hand, and I just do 2 pumps because less is more. And if you always need more, you can go in with more. And there are kind of 3 options for applying this. You can use a beauty blender or a sponge, whatever kind. You don't need to have a beauty blender, but this, I just have this one and it's from Kohl's and it works really nice. Or there is a brush like this, and it's kind of like an angled flat top kabuki brush. And just with brushes, be careful because they can be streaky when you put on your foundation and no one wants that. And you can use your fingers, but I don't really recommend that. Even though you wash your hands before you put on any makeup, definitely do that. Even though you do that, it's kind of, I don't know, I think it just puts in more bacteria and you're not really doing anything for your skin. And it kind of just like spreading it around. But I use a beauty blender, so I just take a little bit, just not a lot, because remember, maybe about that much on my beauty blender, and I just start going, just tapping it. You don't rub it, just tap it, and you will see that covers up your cheek and it was just a little dot of foundation. And you don't need a lot at right now, because if I need more coverage, I usually go in with more. And by dabbing the foundation instead of rubbing it like you would do with a brush, it just makes sure the foundation goes into your skin and it settles in there nicely and it doesn't just slide around on your face. If I find that I pick too much up on my sponge, I just dot it. But you just want to do that to your whole face. And once you are finished with that, I probably could have used a little less, pumped out a little less, but I know I'm going to go in with more because this coverage right now is fine, but I like that fuller coverage. And most important thing that people skip is on your jawline. You don't have to go all the way down your neck, but just take a tad bit on your sponge and just go on your jawline. Like, it's that simple. Okay, so this foundation sets pretty fast, and so you want to wait. If you're doing 2 layers or more layers, however many layers you want, you always want to make sure it sets into your skin, because you're just gonna, if it doesn't set, it's just gonna be putting more on to what it's not set in, and it's just gonna slide around and be slippery. So always make sure that it's set in before you do a second layer. So I'm going to go in with a second layer. Once you got your nice base and everything, you're going to want to go in with a concealer. And I use the Lorac Porefection Concealer, and it's oil-free. I am using the one in PC1 Fair. I just do a concealer under my eyes and on my highlighting points, and you can use whatever brushes you like. You can use this. I use this one for my eyebrows, like when I highlight under my eyebrows with my concealer. I use this brush. This one I use if I need to get in these little like parts right here so it doesn't crease, and around my nose. But for the most part, I usually use my sponge to blend everything together. So I use this straight from the tube. You can put it on the back of your hand and then dot it on. Me personally, I mean, I don't use this on anyone else, and it's too expensive to use on anyone else. Just kidding. But you want to put it in a triangle shape, and I'm not putting a lot on. I kind of just squeeze out a little bit on the like inner corner, and I just spread it with the little thing. I'm not squeezing any more product out of the tube unless I absolutely need it. So you put it in a triangle shape like that, and it doesn't matter how messy it is. And just keep on spreading it out. So there's that, and that's what I do to go under my eyes. And now you want to highlight the high points of your face. So it would be the bridge, not the bridge, I don't know what this is called. Your nose, just your nose, and the tip of your nose. Your Cupid's bow, because it sticks out. And then your chin is a good place to highlight as well. And your forehead. And you can also do under your eyebrows, but I mean, I usually do it when I'm like carving my eyebrows, but I will do it for the sake of this video. So you just want to make sure you blend is the key here, because you don't want like weird like lines all over your face. But I use a mixture of my brushes just cause, and I didn't really put any on my corner of my nose because I usually just take it from the brush and put it there. So You can also blend it with your fingers. There's nothing wrong with blending it with your fingers. It's just I personally don't like to do that. And then the rest of it, I just use my sponge because I find it easiest to blend with it. And then sometimes I'll go in with this brush and just kind of smooth out any lines that might have went creasing. So now on to powder. This is really all I do for my face, is just foundation and concealer. So you can use a loose setting powder, and I use this for all over my face. And this NYC one is really, really good. And it's super, super inexpensive. It's like $3, I think. And then I'm taking a Rumio. I don't know. I got this off of Amazon, and it was like $5. So I was like, hey, why not? So I usually take this like yellowish powder for underneath my eyes, and I take this brush to kind of set it in place. I usually bake under my eyes and everywhere that I put that highlighting concealer, but I just wanted to keep this video simple and just the basics because, I mean, not everyone likes that baking technique. For the loose setting powder, you can use a big fluffy brush like this, but I usually use this once I use this brush, and this is a MAC 116 SE brush, and I got this for Christmas. It was in like a travel kit thing. So I usually just take the brush, dip it in lightly, and see how much is on that brush, tap it off because you don't need that much, and it'll just come on, and I tap it in. I don't rub it. I don't like go like that on it, because once you do that, like if you tap it in, you're setting it into your skin and you're pushing it down, so that way it actually goes into your skin and helps your foundation and concealer stay put. And I also go under my eyes with this one too because it's kind of white and it kind of brightens it up. And I really, really love this. Whoa, there's a cloud. Put too much on. And then if I find I put too much on, like right here, you can see, that's when I do wipe it away because I don't want that much on there. And obviously you don't have to set your face if you don't want to, because I know some people have dry skin and they don't like matte looking foundation and they like dewy foundation, but personally I just cannot have that at all. Do not forget your neck because you did put product there. After that, I usually just kind of like take my big brush and like tap everything in and make sure every last bit of powder is in my skin and not just sitting on top. And this is your complete face makeup base. This is what I do basically every day because I do like that full coverage most days. You can stop here and you don't have to do all the bronzing and highlighting and blush and all that. You don't have to do that at all. You can just stop here and put on some mascara, do your eyebrows, and you can be good to go. But personally, I love doing bronzer and blush and highlight, and so I'm just going to go through that quickly with you guys. So for bronzer, I'm also using this little kit because it kind of comes with all the colors that you need. So I'm going to be taking a mixture of this color and this color because I find this color by itself is a little tad too dark for me because my skin is so fair. So once I add this, it just kind of balances everything out. Take a Real Techniques blush brush, and I didn't clean it. It has blush on it, but it's okay. So you're going to want a light hand when using bronzer just because we don't want just a block of brown on your skin. If you suck in your cheeks and you follow that line that you saw when you did that. Right there. That's where you want it. And you don't want to do it too dramatically. You're not contouring. This isn't contouring. This is just kind of bronzing up the skin to make you look a little less dead from all this just one color foundation. And you also want to go right here and blend it back into your hairline just so it'll give you that nice shape. So once you've done that, you can also do it on your jawline to kind of like make your jawline look a little bit squarer and more crisp and like sharp. But I don't personally like that kind of on me, so I go back in with a big fluffy powder brush, but I mean obviously there's nothing on it, and I kind of buff it out because I don't really like harsh bronzing. I was gonna say contouring. This is not contouring, but I don't really like that harsh bronzer look. So I just go in and blend it out where I put it. And that's the bronzer. As you can probably tell, the lighting and the setup might look a little different than the last clip. Well, my camera decided to die. So I was right in the middle of doing my blush and I didn't notice that my camera had died. So I went on with everything. So I'm just gonna like basically run through it. Like I'm like redoing it, but I'm not gonna actually apply the stuff. So I went in first back in with my Rumio palette, and I took the blush color in the palette and I went in with this e.l.f. complexion brush. And I just dipped it in a little bit and I put it, you're going to want, you don't have to, this is just basically like the basics and how I learned to put on makeup. So for blush, I used to smile and find the apple of your cheek, which is this little ball right here on your cheeks. And you're going to start here, and instead of just going right there on the apples, you're going to swipe out. So you're just going to like put it on and then swipe out on to your cheeks to make it look a little more natural. So you're just gonna go like that on your cheeks. And then I didn't really like how like it was just kind of like one color with my bronzer and my blush, so I went in with the Jordana blush, or my Jordana blush in Blushing Rose. And so I took that again and just did the same exact thing over it. Now for highlighting, basically my favorite part, I already did this too, except for one of these products. But the first one that I went in with was the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator in number 1 Sunbeam. And this is just a nice pinky shimmery illuminator. And so with this, I just dotted the tiniest amount on my ring finger, and I just dotted it along this bone right here. If you can get your finger and just touch, you can feel that bone. Like if you go right here, here's the apple, and then go right up, and you can feel that harsh bone right there. That's your cheekbone, and that is where highlighter goes. So you're gonna just dot the little amount of this on your finger and just place it on your cheekbone and just blend it out. And you're gonna do that on both sides, obviously. So once that's blended out, I took the What's Up highlighter by Benefit, and this is just the sample size. And I can actually do a little more of this one, so I'm just going to put that on. And this one is a cream highlight, so it's kind of easier to blend out, because the other one you kind of have to work with the clock, and because it does dry really fast, and this one doesn't dry at all. And so you just put that on and just blend it out, and it's super easy to blend out. And then the very last highlighter that I use is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle, and this is my favorite highlight in the whole world. And I take the e.l.f. small stipple brush and I just kind of swirl it around. Like, honestly, I don't even care how much of this I use. I just circle it on this brush and then tap it off. And then also just go right along that bone. And this just gives the illusion of really glowy cheeks, and it's great. And also what you can do is go around here, and it also makes it just gives the smallest difference, and it's so pretty and so subtle. It's probably not subtle, but it's okay. And just do the same thing to the other side. I just use Soft and Gentle to go on my nose, and then on my chin, on my Cupid's bow, and on my forehead, and above my eyebrows. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is kind of like my first video in this like kind of series. Thumbs up this video if you want to see more to this series, like kind of like back to the basic series. I just want to start putting more like actual like informational content on my channel, so I thought this would be a really good kind of series to do. I've seen a lot of people do videos like these. I just thought it would be a really interesting idea to do. So I will see you guys later with another video. Bye!